So it's called the riverbank now in Shoreham. So you have this is what's known as a Dutch barge, steel hull, and then that middle section is where the living room is, the toilet room is, and the accommodation. And you come up to this small little area here. You go through the gates and you go into the Dutch barge, and it's got this area on the side here, so the water comes all the way in, so it sits there. And over the years they've just made these river homes blend in with normal houses. The houseboats on Shoreham are famous, very, very famous. There's a guy who came here about 30 odd years ago. His name was Hamish Mackenzie, and he was homeless, and he clubbed together all the money that he could turn around and find, and he bought one of these boats. And they are an eclectic mix of stuff that they found from the scrap yards and the areas that are around here that throw away stuff. So, and they revamp these vessels using scrap. So this one's pumping out water. They got water, they got electricity, they do solar. They're very, very nice on the inside. They don't look clever here, but there are eclectic mixes, as you know, of what you'll see when you come through. So there's another barge, and what you do is you bring these boats in at high tide, like now, so that they can come all the way up to the side. So they come all the way in, and this one's a metal one, and that's quite high. It's quite big. So there's lots of space inside them, lots of space. But as I said, this guy, so you walk down that gangway, there's a door, you go inside, and then that'll be the living accommodation. And then this one's built up with wood. This one's got the living accommodation in the middle there, and as I said, it's the riverbank. But this guy Mackenzie, 30 odd years ago, 35 odd years ago, started building these boats and developing these boats and making these boats livable. Look at that, there's a thistle there. This is one of the largest boats on the river. This is an ex-torpedo boat, an MTB boat. And this was brought in with a guy called Cole. Fred Cole owns this. So it's marine ply, left over from the army. They've taken away the torpedo tubes, the guns and all the other stuff, and then they've built these wooden properties, wooden houses above it. So you've got water line, then above, then you've got above that water line, and you make sure the balance is still there, and then they turn around and tar the top of it to seal it. As I said, Hamish Mackenzie, 30 odd years ago, bought one. He owns 5 now. We're going to go and have a look at some of these because they are very, very eclectic. But people live on these boats, and they have great family lives. And yeah, there are benefits for it, but there are other benefits that are not so clever. So this one here is one of those eclectic boats. So you can see the boat is down here, then you've got like an area, then you've got this huge area on the top, and that'll all be waterproof. And that's the thing, is keeping them waterproof. And then what you do is you make the area around your boat private, and that's why these fences are in here now, you know, to turn around and make their little areas private, so people don't know what's going on in your little area. But you'll see these boats. See, this one's on a barge, water's in. So you got another one there. They like to decorate with all these different colours and artwork. So there's one there that's nice and big, but you can see how the tide is moving very, very slowly to get it in. But there's a whole community here now. Shoreham is over there, and the river comes in twice a day, and then they can flush out their toilets and they can turn around and do their waste. So this is an upturned boat that's made to look like a shed before you go to the boat. Houses are still here on the left hand side. We've got these like little living areas, these little patio areas, they're outside sea areas, but it's very, very much like a shanty town. Yeah. Now, years ago when I used to come here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, all these bushes and all these conifers weren't there. So these are becoming very, very exclusive, very private residences now. It's only when people don't plant trees and shrubs like here that you can actually see inside. Post box, electricity, water. So this one over here is pumping out the water, you can see that. So it's twice a day they turn around and pump out the water. So if they've got any leaks, they can pump out the water from the leaking inside. They get rid of their sewage that's been treated and blitzed and blended. They can get rid of their dirty water into the river and it will run down. But I think there's 52 boats here. I think there's 52 boats, but they're made up of all sorts of stuff that they find at the tip. So you go to the junkyard, and the stuff is cheap. It's not costing you a lot of money. But they put this concrete walkway in because this used to be, as I said, a gravel path. And as soon as they put that in, people started putting up fences to make them look like little homes that are on the river. And as I said, Mackenzie owns 5 of these, and they are very, very eclectic. It might be the guy down here that's got the pirate sign, but you can get in, and this one is called Asterod. Now this is a big one, isn't it? This is huge. Okay, so this is the pirate, and that is a full-going, sea-going boat that was used in the Second World War. And it's metal plated, it's right out of the water. At the top of it, it's got panelling up here, but you can see how they rot, and then they need to be repaired, and that's when it becomes expensive. Some people found an ingenious way to live. They got a mooring, the boat's disappeared, so they just bring in a caravan. I think they've most probably brought the caravan across the park and manhandled it up the bank to get it into here. But this is an American torpedo boat, and that one further down is about the same size, but it's further out in the water and it's sunk in the water. This has been brought right up the bank, and they use what, tractor windows. Like this one here is a tractor window, a tractor tyre or frame that's been turned into a glass window, and then all the windows are eclectic because they've been bought from the local junkyard, and they've built their houses accordingly, and it's really, really nice. This here is a berthing area to turn around and raise your boat out of the water when it's low tide, so you can actually work on the hull to turn around and make it work. So you've got stuff here for sale, see? So this could be used in your house, in your boat. This light could be used in your boat. But as I said, like they turn around, and I've been coming down here for like 20 odd years. They got a nice boat over there. It's got that curved roof going down, so when the wind's blowing over, the wind doesn't turn around and affect what the boat is doing, where it's movement. Because remember, boats will move when the tide comes in, and boats become static when they settle in the mud and they go back down the mud. There's a bath here. There we go. So these houses, eclectic houses, are what's this one turned around and say? I can't read all that, but there we go. It's holiday lets. You can actually rent these. So this guy, this will be Hamish Mackenzie, where he builds and sculptures the fish on the side of the boat, and then you can walk through there, walk out there. You can go on this one that looks like something out of a 1950, 1960 sci-fi movie in the UK or in America. You've got torpedoes in the water here, you've got flying bombs in the water there, but this is Hamish Mackenzie. He's got 5 of these, yeah, and over the years he's moved from struggling with one 30 odd years ago to now actually having 5 that he has people living on. See how, you know, the eclectic mix, and they paint it, and then when they've actually got it on the outside all boxed up and it's not leaking, anything like they've got Robin Reliant there, they'll paint it and make it an eclectic vision like this one here. So it's very, very psychedelic, but inside it's a great place to live. It's got another one sitting out there that's going to come in, most probably come into this area here. But you've got these pontoons down here, and you've got the fish and an aeroplane and whatever you got. You got a bus sitting there on the top of that one, so they've craned in a bus, and he's turned the bus into a living area and a toilet area and a bathroom area. And then the outside of it is just this melange of so somebody's working here. They're actually painting the name to go on the outside, so you can turn around and you can join the club. So come to talk, find out more about the pollution and find out more. So there's Mr. Hamish over there walking from one boat to another. As I said, he owns 5, and he has this 2,000 square metres of river frontage property, which people sometimes like, sometimes don't. But it's number 18. There's his post box. I said the other day I would come here and do a vlog on it. The guys come up through these chained areas and they park their cars down here in a parking area. So they don't park at the house, they park in this area, and then they go out to the road there. And where those little huts are over there, that's the actual beach. So there's another one here which looks very, very, now that's big, isn't it? That's work in progress. That's what they start off looking like. Yeah, they start off looking like huge riverboats, and as long as they're watertight and they've got rid of the engines and they've got rid of the oil tanks and they'll tow them into place and they'll start painting them, and that might be a 5, 6, 7 year project. This guy on this one tow them into sheds. They've got street lighting that runs all the way along, so you don't end up having any problems before now. There's another guy over there going into his. It's a calm place to live, unless you've got somebody like me walking along, because then I'm talking. Power supply that goes in, but the size of that, massive, isn't it? Massive. This one's actually got the weatherproofing going in, and then it will turn around and put lap larch on that. It'll actually have a boarding panel. It's not like the Philippines where you get tin. Here wood is used everywhere, and it's just sealed. It's preserved. You don't have to worry about termites coming in. You do have to worry about ants, but they tend to keep away from the waterline because it's damp, and ants don't like it being damp. This guy's done his nice artwork, but it's a bit like a community of artists, painters, and bohemian lifestyle families. It's very, very nice. What's this one? Sign writer. So they all do these different cash in hand jobs. Don't declare anything, claim the benefit. This one here is fly fishing lessons. But you can live relatively cheap here. The only thing you've got to worry about is when prices on electricity, gas go up, which it is. It's a lovely garden, isn't it? Hello, boy. But it's a lovely, lovely community. But what you'll turn around and find is that when the water comes in, it needs to flush out for school lessons. So, you know, you turn around and you don't want to have rubbish and waste all sitting in this water area, because then it would make your house smell. So this flushing in and flushing out every 12 hours gets rid of that smell. It washes and flushes out. And as long as the sea's doing that and the ocean's doing that, you can live here. But it's a lovely walk. So if you're ever in Shoreham, you need to come and walk this road. This is a little boat there, isn't it? See how big that is? C851. That's a steel boat that's been bought in. It's a nice colour. It's a seagoing yacht made of steel, and it's got a huge area. Look. They've got these lovely pine trees here, and you can't smell it, but it's beautiful pine, because pine turns around and releases sap. So you've got another really, and that's a very nice modern, that black and orange. So so that's that one. Rebus stone. That's a lovely house, isn't it? Lovely houseboat. Yeah. Very, very nice. Lovely looked after. So, got some plants on it. It'll be dark inside. It'll be cool. Little breeze. But the walkway of life. But in the UK, rivers, anywhere there's water, people love to go and live on the water. So how windy is it today? There's the flag. This runs for about a mile and a half, 2 miles, and unbelievable. I'm very surprised how much it's changed in the 5 years I've not been here. They've done this retaining wall here, which is this bit here, which is a sea defence that runs all the way down to stop the sea flooding in this area. They put a stainless steel handrail all the way along and a concrete path, and then these people are all living here. So they use the gas bottles, just like in the Philippines. They have the gas bottles, have solar panels, have a little bit of electricity. They'll have wood burning stoves, and this is their life. And it is a very nice life. The river is over there, so we're going to go over where those trees are, and this is a basin, and in here it's shallower, so you can actually park other boats, and this area here will become more. There will be more boats and more river barges that will be moored there, and people will turn around and build up. I remember when this one came in 5 years ago, had nothing on it. Now it's got a house on it, it's got a plot there, it's got its own patio area, it's got its own outside living area. Normally it's just like this, a boat like that you can live on, and then gradually put, where the windows are down there, they'll put a patio area, and then they'll put a patio area around there. So that's that one there. So that's sitting there. They won't put anything in here because this is most probably this guy's plot, this land. He goes out to there, so very, very narrow here, and this area will be his area that he will cultivate. He will turn into a living area over the next 5 to 10 years. And when the water comes in, it flushes it through, so you can use your kayak, you can use your little dinghies, you can use your little boats, go out onto the river, do some fishing. So his entrance is here, so that runs all the way down, so that's lovely, isn't it? It's solar panel. And then the other boats have actually got these little sheds that they've built here, the blue ones, and it's colour coded towards that one over there or this one here. So this boat here is somebody's. It's not as grandiose as the big one over there or that one over there. This will cost you around 50,000 peso, but you've got this whole area here that goes into this wash area. You can put other boats in if you want to. You just apply to the council, and then you can moor in this area as long as there's room, and as long as you're not parking or going into a nature area or you're going into a wildlife area. All the way along the bank you've still got these houses, yeah, but we're going into, so that's the view. We're going over to here. We're going to go over and look at the toll bridge.